Welcome to Rubin On Point, a podcast about cancer, resilience, and being human. I'm Dr. Dan Rubin, and together we'll uncover the true power of resilience, the strength to recover, adapt, and thrive through life's toughest challenges. Each episode will bring bold ideas, transformative practices, and inspiring stories that redefine what health, healing, and what the human spirit can achieve. And you're going to meet some really cool people along the way. If you're ready to turn obstacles into opportunities and live with greater purpose and courage, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Your journey to resilience begins now. Welcome to Rubin On Point. I'm your host, Dr. Dan Rubin. This is a podcast about cancer. It's about resilience, and most of all, it's always about being human. I'm really happy to be here with my longtime good friend, Mr. Bruce St. James, who has had a long-standing radio show on KTAR radio. He's a race car driver. He's very much into philanthropy. Him and I have worked on a philanthropy together. You'll hear about that. But really, the humanistic aspect is what I'm looking forward to talking about. And if we get a chance, maybe we can chat about some watches, since we both love those. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We've known each other, I'm thinking, about 8 years.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I was going to say 10, but yeah, somewhere in that range.
And we met each other through the Joy Bus.
Yeah,
Joy
what
Bus
an
Diner,
amazing organization.
You were on that board long before I even entered onto the board, because I remember coming to your radio show, your radio station studio, for meetings.
Yeah. I volunteered the conference room for our meetings before we had a location. So I was involved with the Joy Bus before there was a actual charity organization.
How did you get in?
I met the founder, Jennifer Caraway.
She's been on this. You can.
Yeah, and heard her story and just said, "How can I help?" Like. Wow. You know, what an amazing thing, delivering fresh, chef-inspired meals to homebound cancer patients. And so started to get involved with her, started helping, started volunteering, and then we said, you know what, we need to formalize this a little bit more. So I was an original member of the board. I think I'm the last original member. You helped form the board as well.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I'm not trying to take credit. And she is by far the patriarch.
Why were you motivated towards that philanthropy? Why not something dealing with mental health?
Fair enough. Yeah. There's something that just talked to me, and I'll explain it like this. I think I've been around people that had cancer. I've been around people who were battling, and it seemed like all of them had like a team. They had little wristbands, and they had T-shirts, and they went to walks, and it was Scotty Strong or whatever. You know, this whole, and the idea that there were people who, were it not for someone delivering them a meal, they may have no other human interaction outside of a doctor or a hospital. Wow. And I said, you know what? It opened my eyes that not everybody has a support system like that. They don't have family or friends or whatever that can support them. And I just thought, what a small, unique organization. And it was a place where I felt like I could make a difference.
Wow. That's wonderful. And so that must have been, 2026? Was that like 2015?
Something like that. Yeah. Maybe a little bit before that. Yeah.
And so you're still with them.
Still with them. I'm still on the board, still helping grow the Joy Bus.
I'm no longer on the board. I do miss it. I have to say it was a great time.
Yeah.
Jennifer will probably be on this podcast sooner than later. We've chatted about it. We've done one where we actually went to the new diner. We sat in the bus, and
she's an amazing woman.
I agree. No, I mean, it touched my heart too. Really did. I mean, I obviously live and work in the world of oncology for a long time. But that particular philanthropy, I guess thank you for helping to form that, and it gave me the opportunity to have outreach like that too.
Again, I don't want to take any credit. I just I'm I think lucky to be a part of it.
I think she would give you some credit.
Well, right,
she'd be smacking us here going, what are you talking about?
She's very deflecting of praise herself, needless to say.
That's great. So that's not the only philanthropy that you're involved in.
No. I'm involved in two other organizations. One of them specific to cancer, Children's Cancer Network. I serve on the board of that as well. And Children's Cancer Network is Boy, how do you describe it? It is a one-stop shop for families and children who have been diagnosed with cancer. They are inside all of the hospitals, the children's hospitals, and in many cases, Children's Cancer Network is the first point of contact when you get a diagnosis.
Yes, and this is a local to Phoenix.
Yes, right here. We do a little bit in Tucson as well.
Okay.
We have trouble saying no to people.
I imagine.
Yeah.
We work a little bit with CCN.
Yeah, and you know, the neat thing and what I've learned is hearing a doctor say your child has cancer might be the most terrifying thing a parent's ever heard. And they don't know what comes next. And they don't know where to turn to.
I got to take a breather just when you say that. And because I can't imagine, even though we work strongly in the field of pediatric oncology, I still don't know what it actually feels like to hear those words.
To be on the other end of that. Yeah. So CCN steps in immediately, provides them with resources, tells them where they can go to get help.
Do they go seek out the patient, or does the patient still have to seek CCN?
They look for them, and that's why we are in the hospitals, and we have very close relationship with Banner, with Phoenix Children's, and they will refer people and say, you know, here's an organization that can help. Okay. Now, I like to explain it this way, you know, insurance and whatnot kind of takes care of the medical side for most patients. CCN does everything else. Yeah. From
transportation,
gas cards, help pay an electric bill if they're running short, child care, and then we also have a facility out in Chandler where we do really neat things for the kids. We do camp during the summer, and I get to be a camp counselor. There's a question as to whether that's a good idea.
Only the kids who have been diagnosed,
and their siblings.
Okay. What are the age ranges for this?
3 to 16.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And so we have, we do parents' date night, which I think is amazing because I want you to imagine this.
Okay.
Basically, we set up a night where we have pizza, basketball, air hockey, video games, maybe a movie, and we give the parents a gift card to go out to dinner.
That's phenomenal.
So we have the kids, or kids, singular, and they get a chance to be parents, have their own relationship again, and not have it solely wrapped up around dealing with the child. So we try to understand that parents need maybe a breather every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you start thinking about what are those conversations over the dinner table like when they're alone? Like, they're like, okay, we're not going to talk about so-and-so or the diagnosis. We're going to talk about us. I mean, well,
and we've learned also, you know, siblings. It's very difficult to be the brother or sister of a child because who's going through their own cancer journey, because understandably everybody is focused on that kid, and they tend to kind of be in the background, and some handle it better than others, you know. So we do things that are specifically for the siblings, and we try to point them out, and we do things to make them understand how important they are to this journey as well. And being a big brother or a little sister to somebody going through it is still really important. So we really hype them up.
I mean, you know, I've often said that I think maybe the greatest unsung heroes of the medical profession are the pediatric oncology teams.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's a calling in and of itself.
Yeah. If you're not in the field, you don't know what it's like. And I'm not a conventional pediatric oncologist. We're a naturopathic pediatric oncologist. We are. But we don't know what it's like in the hospital and with the chemo and giving the diagnosis.
Radiation, et cetera, et cetera.
It didn't work.
Ugh.
We have to try something else, or your child's cancer has returned, and what those parents go through, and
the roller coaster they're on.
And you help with that.
We try. We do our best.
And so CCN has their own facility down there where you have camp, and you were going to talk about.
We do summer camp for them. Okay. We do different camps like spring break. You know, a place where the parents can drop off kids, and we have, you know, trained nurses on staff, people who understand
in case
cancer.
Something happens.
And it's a safe place for them to be. Okay. And so we, and I think the neat thing is what we find is so quickly, kids are pretty resilient. Okay. And the last thing kids want is sympathy. I've learned that they don't know any different. Many
Right.
of them, this has been their whole life.
Whole life. Well
And
said.
being around other kids who have a similar experience, they bond really fast, and they find friends, and they run around together, they sit together, and they don't necessarily talk about their treatment and stuff. You can just tell, like, they both kind of know what the other one's been through, and I don't think you can have that bond with a kid who's never spent 3 months in a hospital.
What's the word? Simpatico? You feel that.
Yeah.
So again, here, and well said too, because we talk about that, when we're training our pediatric resident, Dr. Monica, talking about how, some children, this is just what they know. So this is kind of
been their whole
normal.
life.
Yeah, normal for them.
That's not the only one. I've got another one, and this one's really special.
This is one I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, the Colten Cowell Foundation is not a charity; it's a family foundation.
Okay.
It's not about raising money; it's about giving it away, and giving it away in a very special way that teaches a lesson and directly impacts people. It's really difficult to describe, but I'm going to do my best. First off, think Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
The original, not that remake.
Yeah. That was hard to watch.
And tie it into the 1966 Batman TV show.
Okay, I'm there.
So what we do is children's charities nominate a child to be the superhero for the night. They can bring their friends, their family, whoever they want. And we call it a show. There is a 10-page script that I have memorized.
Wow.
I'm one of the MCs. I'm the host for the night. And we start in Mr. Wayne's study, and we work their way all the way through the Batcave, culminating in a really exciting ride around in the Batmobile and the Batcycle. And they are the superhero for the night. So we're constantly going back to them going, hey, we need your help. We looked around. There's nobody else. You're the superhero. We need you.
Where are the friends at this time?
They're all watching. They're cheering. They're high-fiving.
Oh, so there's one person going through this only.
And everyone else gets to go and do all the same stuff.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But they're there to cheer him or her
They're the
up.
Robins.
Exactly. Yeah. A bunch of Robins. Bring all the Robins you want.
Okay.
And at the very end, I call it my favorite part, the superhero gets to give back to those people that have helped their family. Oh, so we have the big, goofy, oversized PGA checks, and they get to hand checks back to the charity that nominated them and a charity that specifically have helped their family. And I'm really proud to say that we just passed our 1,000th show / superhero. And the foundation now has given away over $2.3 million to 300 different children's charities. It is an amazing thing. I am lucky to be a part of it. It is the highlight of my week when I get to do shows. And wow, I've met so many awesome kids. And that's how I met Children's Cancer Network, because they were one of the nominating charities, and I've just met so many amazing people. And our Mr. Wayne says, the idea is that giving can be fun. Yeah. And so we have a fun time. We don't focus on whatever the ailment or condition is. We focus on the positive part of it. And the idea is we're going to laugh. We're going to have fun. We're going to run around like our hair's on fire. And it's going to be an exciting, fun night where the kid is the star.
I love the idea of what you just outlined for us, of saying like, hey, we looked all around. There's nobody else. We need you.
We need you.
So what are we looking at here?
There is, the Joker has reared his ugly head.
Okay.
The Cesar Romero Joker, in the, chartreuse jacket with the
classic,
green hair. And so, the reason it's the 1966 version is because it was all fun. It was pow, zap, bang. People always go, well, how come you guys didn't do the later Batman? I go, it got kind of dark.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't make it out of those movies.
The Dark Knight.
Everybody shows up next week in the Batman thing. Like,
Right.
the Penguin comes back, the Joker, everybody
and
comes
you know
back.
they're actually like real people in costumes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
and so it's fun.
Yeah.
And so, it goes everything from, they got to press the button, the bookcase opens up, they have to slide down the poles to get into the Batcave.
How have I not come?
I have no idea. It's my fault for not inviting you.
Well, thank you.
Consider this your invitation.
Okay, thank
we
you.
will have you in soon. And then the superhero gets to take everybody through, and then, oh my goodness, the bat light goes off.
Whoa.
The lights are down, the bat light goes
What
off.
does that mean?
means it's important. There's a message from Commissioner Gordon.
Okay.
The Joker has been sighted.
And how serious did the kids take this?
Some kids' eyes get this big.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to need your help. Let's jump in the Batmobile. Let's go find the Joker, right? God. And off we go, and we get to do rides, and all their friends and family get to go for rides in the Batmobile. We have a Bat cycle, we have a Bat copter. We don't fly it, but it's there. And then we, as I said, at the end we give away big goofy checks, and there's smiles all around and high fives. And I've had more than one. So here's what I learned. I learned one of the things is don't look at the parents at the end. When we talk about how important it is to give back, when we talk about how they are special, and
who are the parents or the kid?
The kid,
okay.
And they have some unique things, and we want them to achieve something important in their life. And please share it with the rest of us. The rest of the world needs whatever it is you have to offer. That's my final line. I can't look at the parents because sometimes the parents are crying. So I learned I learned not to look at parents because the kid's wide-eyed and excited, and it's really such a rewarding experience.
What's the average age of kids that come through?
All over the road.
So you can get a 16-year-old through there.
Absolutely.
All right.
We've had teenagers, and we've had 3-4-year-olds. We have everything from kids with autism. We Best Buddies is something. We have Hope Kids. We have Children's Cancer Network. We have a variety of different children's charities, always nominating kids to go through and be a superhero for the night.
There doesn't seem to be much like a better way to give back than that.
It's our Mr. Wayne is a pretty amazing guy. He doesn't like having his name associated with it. He does this out of the kindness of his heart. And I'm lucky to know him. I'm lucky to be a part of it. And I remind him all the time that he has changed my life for the better by allowing me to be a part of something so special.
So well said. And I was going to say, as you were telling me this story and how wide-eyed the kids are, and especially like we've looked everywhere, we need you to do this, the feeling inside that child of being needed and special, if it's anything like the feeling that I got, that's so healing. And it's so anti-cancer. It's so good for the immune system. And I'm thinking the feeling you must get, this is like an ultimate biohack.
Yeah.
We talk about red light and cold plunge and saunas and peptides and all the things that are out there. This is, I think, one of the best feelings conjured within the self. So it's such a primal feeling to have those types of neurohormones that it's healthy.
I float out of there.
I imagine.
It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. And I learned a long time ago, when you give of yourself, you get much more in return.
I love that. And you're changing one person's world.
We try, and again, the look on their faces, the feeling we get, and the thank you we get from parents who, and again, another thing I learned was, our son or daughter has been the center of attention for the wrong reasons, because of their diagnosis, because of their condition, whatever they might have. Yeah. You made them the center of attention for the right reason tonight.
That's huge.
That's. It had nothing to do with what they're going through. Yeah. And we have kids that are wheelchair bound. No problem. We can do that. We have some kids that are not as responsive. No problem. We can deal with that. We accept them the way they are, and we make them the star of the show.
Do you get parents who follow up with you after a cancer diagnosis and their child has passed away? Sadly,
yes. Yeah. As you know,
it's part of things.
There is, and it never gets easier. Yeah. No. What we do is we, after a certain amount of time has passed, we invite the family to come back, and we take a picture of their child from that night. We have a professional photographer that takes thousands of pictures every
okay.
night. And we find a picture from that night, and we make a banner, and we hang it from the ceiling, and we say they'll always be a part of the Batcave with us now.
That's so important.
And so we
How
have
unique.
some pictures of some kids in there that we've lost, but you know what? The smile on their face that night, the look in their eyes, you know, I'd like to think we made a positive difference for the time that they had.
Well, working with kids with cancer, and the fact is that some of them, they do die.
Yeah.
And after a long enough time, parents understand that. They've been on the journey with them. They've had discussions with their child. I haven't experienced it myself, obviously, but I know that children view their world and the world differently. They just don't have the emotional or biochemical baggage or the experience that adults have. And so they are probably closer to the energetics or religion or however you want to term it than we understand, because we don't know what it's like to be 6 anymore.
Couldn't possibly.
And so I imagine that the parents are amazingly grateful for that and for CCN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, so this is...
Well, I don't work very much, so I have lots of time to volunteer and do cool
It's
things
wonderful.
like that.
So what's it like having a radio show? And how did you even get into
Oh, my
radio?
God. So I've been in radio. It's the only job I've had. So I've had 3 jobs in my life.
Okay.
I was a paper boy.
How old were you? 13?
13,
Okay.
14.
Where?
Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
For the Arizona Daily Star.
Okay.
I was a paper boy. Hated Sundays. Those things were huge back in the day.
Oh, totally.
I couldn't throw them. I had to run up to every door and drop them off.
All of the ads. I mean,
Yeah,
those
it
were
was like this thick. It was like having a phone book.
I mean, were you riding your bike? Or did you have a...
Yeah, and I started driving at an early age because I needed help. So, and then I worked a summer at the AMC Elcon 6 movie theaters. I was an usher.
Okay.
I'd like to say the entry level into show business.
Yeah,
you know,
you had a
working at a movie
flashlight,
theater.
yeah.
And
Did you have to wear an
I
outfit?
had a little black vest, you know, with my name on it, and I would do things like this: second theater on your left, and then they would turn to the right, and I go, your other left.
Yes, respectable.
Yeah.
I love it.
And while I was a freshman at the University of Arizona, I called a radio station one night. I was listening, doing homework. And by doing homework, I probably wasn't doing it very well. And I had the radio on, and they did a contest or something. I called in. I was caller number 13 and a winner. And I was on the phone, and apparently I was, you know, my normal self, like I am. And the DJ on the other end said, will you do help me out a little bit. I need you to like introduce the next song. You're going to be my guest DJ and this and the other. So I was on for like an hour or so, hour and a half, just playing and just, I didn't think anything of it.
Wow.
And he said, hey, you ever been to a radio station? No. You want to come down? Yeah, sure. So I went down and I became like a unpaid intern. Well, back then I basically just filed things away and I answered the request line for him. And this was in October.
What's the request line? Would people call in and request
they would
a song?
request a song. Yeah,
Okay.
and I'd write it down. Yeah, the old school thing. You kids today wouldn't know. And so I remember this specifically. They had the staff Christmas party at the owner's house. And I don't drink. Never had a drop of alcohol in my life. It's a whole nother, I mean, look at me. I'm worried if I started to drink. There'd be no doubt about it. But we're all at the Christmas party. I get invited. I'm an intern. I'm not getting paid. And the person who was supposed to go on the radio at midnight might have had a few too many drinks. It was an open bar. One thing led to another. So the boss goes, you need to go down to the radio station and go on the air. Well, why me? You're literally the only sober person we have.
Oh, my God.
I go, I don't know how to do the radio thing. He goes, it's the middle of the night. Nobody's listening. You can't possibly screw it up. So I went down, and that was my first radio shift, was midnight to 5 a.m. or something like that.
You just did what you wanted to do?
And he said after that, he goes, you want to keep doing that? Okay. And so...
Those hours?
Yeah, I started and then I got hired.
Yeah.
I think I was making $3.50 an hour. I don't want to brag, but I would do 2 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. And I said, we literally wouldn't put me on the radio when anybody was awake. We didn't want, but cut my teeth doing that and moved up and ended up being, I worked at a couple different radio stations in Tucson. I ended up running a radio station in Tucson, and I moved to Los Angeles, ran a radio station in LA, then San Diego, then Phoenix.
Chicago?
On the running, I was running station. So I was called program director. You know, so you run the radio station. You're the boss of the DJs, I used to say, which isn't always a good job. And then I got on the talk side, and it was something that somebody goes, "You ever thought of doing talk radio?" And I said, "No, I run radio stations." Like, well, let's see what it's like. You know, you gotta get on the other side. And I started doing that. I did that here at KTAR. Then I went to Chicago to WLS for a couple years.
WLS.
And then, and then world's largest store, Sears, is where that came from. And then came back here to Phoenix and now do the afternoon show. So I'm on from 2 to 6, Monday through Friday.
That's working a lot.
It's 4 hours a day.
Okay.
I mean, I'm no math whiz. I think it's 20 hours a week.
Okay.
You know, there's extra, but I don't tell people that.
You love it.
It's a lot of fun. You know, I will tell you this, though. It's difficult. Certain topics are still difficult to talk about. And
Are you assigned topics?
oh, no.
Okay.
No,
This
we
is
get to
your-
choose them. But let me use an example. God forbid, there's like some school shooting. Like, that's not easy
Yeah.
to talk about. I remember being on the air the morning that we started getting reports out of
Sandy Hook,
Connecticut
Connecticut.
that an elementary school, there'd been a school shooting, and that it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And we're on the air reacting to it. We're on the air trying to give the audience information because they're coming
It's the
to
only way
say,
they're going to
what
get
happened
it.
at Sandy Hook? What happened? And it just sucks the life out of you. I would prefer not to talk about school shootings. Does that make sense? Same. I feel like there's a certain responsibility, at least when it comes to breaking news.
Absolutely.
You got to cover it. It's
not
not fun.
Yeah,
when
I'm sitting
you're
here
doing that.
trying
It's
to put
not fun.
myself in your position, especially so early on in this, and people are probably turning on, say, "Hey,
What's happened? Oh my God.
Cue into KTR.
They're going to be talking about it. They're going to give me the
Or
latest information,
yeah.
right? And you know, there's difficult stories out there that they're not fun to talk about. And now there's some of them that we try to champion. My partner Gatos and I, we had a problem here in the state of Arizona with Child Protective Services, with CPS, and children being killed on their watch, you know, and different issues. And we really thought, you know, that there was things that could be done better. And so we really tried to hold them to task and not let things get away like that. It's real important that somebody holds elected officials and government agencies, especially ones that are tasked with looking for the well-being of vulnerable children, that we do better.
Yeah. Do you bring guests on your show?
Sure, all the time. Yeah. We have experts. We do a weekly show where we bring in a panel of people and kind of talk about the week's stories, different people, different backgrounds, different viewpoints, try to give a sense for all of those. So.
Is it work to you, or is this just what you enjoy doing anyhow? Talking about stuff. And
the difficult days are work,
yeah.
but most days are not. No, most days it's fun, yes. Talking about, you know, some of those really difficult stories, you realize it's just exhausting. It's mentally and physically
You mean
exhausting.
just to mention it or to have to carry it through for those 4 hours?
Carry it through, yeah. And keep talking about something when I would say you as a listener, you can turn the radio.
You can't.
You can go to listen to music and cleanse your soul of this, you know, or try to distract yourself. We have to be kind of locked in on things.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something medical, obviously I'm in the medical
Sure.
field. If it's something political and enraging or aggravating, then yeah, I'm probably going to move on because I got other important things that I have to think about, like helping people with cancer, helping kids with cancer.
Well, and I think that's, I'm going to bring it full circle.
Yeah.
I think that's where some of the volunteerism comes for me,
Okay.
because I can go do that and I can get away from whatever the stupid headline of the day or the depressing thing or the frustrating thing. And that's how I can kind of
cleanse.
Yeah. And I can go into a different mode entirely.
Wow. Did you pick the hours of 2 to 6?
No. Oh, no. I'd love to tell you that, people in radio go, here's what hours I'm going to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work like that.
seems like-
I don't own the place yet.
But
Okay.
I mean, it's not the drive to work, but it is smack dab in the middle
We
of the day.
call that afternoon drive.
then-
Yeah.
and then
It's
the
when people are
afternoon-
going home.
Yeah. 2 to 6. Okay. Yeah, I guess we are in Phoenix, and we do get rush hour around like 3.
3 in the afternoon.
3 in
Yeah.
the
It's when
afternoon.
that's when the carpool lanes
Yeah.
start blocking me off.
It's
So
interesting.
yeah.
I mean, I would think that that's a great time to be on because you have
It
so many
is.
people listening. And
I prefer it to early in the morning because I would not call myself a morning person.
no, I'm simpatico on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
People ask me what time do I get up, and I tell them when I'm done sleeping.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When my eyes
when I get up.
open. Yeah. For me, yeah, it's exactly. And I think it's important to respect your circadian rhythm, your individual one. People's are different.
Yes.
Right? Like we're not.
And it changes. Changes over time, I've noticed.
I agree.
I find myself getting up a little earlier than I would normally. And okay.
I
that's just
tend
where
to
I'm at.
work later into the evening, so a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you're emailing me so often." Our resident Dr. Monica was like, "How come you were texting me at midnight?" I'm like, "I was going through charts and stuff." But I get it; it's important. And as we get older, things change. Sometimes we need less sleep or different types of sleep. But I too, I think it's important. I like to get up in the morning when I don't set an alarm now.
I don't set an alarm.
Yeah, and that's important because it's when you're done sleeping, and then
People laugh at that, and I go, I feel sorry for you that you can't wake up when you're done sleeping.
Yeah, and then I like to work out and exercise, take some nutrients, and then I come to work.
Yeah.
So health-wise in your family, has your family been affected by cancer at all?
My brother had Hodgkin's
old was he?
disease.
Yeah.
Well, so this is my half brother.
Okay.
And Tracy was older than me from my dad's previous marriage. And he had it at a pretty young age, early 20s.
Okay, reasonable.
And beat it through that. And I didn't know this at the time, they said, the cure can come back later in life. And he ended up getting lung cancer.
You mean because you could get a
from the
secondary
treatment.
cancer from the treatment? Yes.
Yeah, it's the way it was explained to me.
Got it.
And that's correct, Doc?
Yep, I'm assuming that he might have gotten a certain anthracycline type chemotherapy,
Yes.
which could then cause a mutation.
Because he got
down
lung
the line.
cancer, never smoked a day in his life type thing, and passed away from lung cancer.
How old was he?
Tracy would have been 45 around there.
What year was this that he passed away?
So this was a while ago, close to 20 years ago.
Okay. Tell us about Tracy.
Tracy was a neat guy.
Yeah.
So my dad had 4 children from a previous marriage, but Tracy lived in the neighborhood still. All the rest moved away. So growing up in Virginia as a young kid, he was like the cool kid. Like he had a mustache. I mean, this guy.
That's tough.
Yeah, exactly. He had a pickup truck. I'm like, there is nobody cooler than Tracy.
Totally.
I really could look up to a guy like that. He was a real self-made guy. Big into music, would take us to concerts and things.
How old were you? Like around when?
So I was roughly 10 to 15 years younger than him.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty neat, to be around somebody that cool.
Yeah.
He was my cool older brother,
Heck yeah.
to say the least. And so, just an amazing guy. And I got to be with him, near the end. And that was, watching him go through that was really difficult.
He went through
Had 2
convention.
children. Okay. And not about me, 100%. But I can remember, and people ask me sometimes, like, what you remember. And I said, I remember taking his son, Alex, who was probably 9 or 10 years old at the time, to the mall to buy a suit for the funeral. And I said, that really sticks with me still.
And it's probably going to stick with a lot of people who are listening to this.
Yeah. I wanted to honor my brother. I wanted, take care of his family, be a part of it, still in their lives, still. Tanya and Alex are great kids, and they've grown up, and they've turned into amazing people. But their dad was somebody special. Yeah.
Well, we'll remember him. Thank you for that story. Really appreciate it. And you're going through some little rough patch with your mom.
Yeah. My mom has Alzheimer's. She is in advanced stages, And we know that I've been up there. My brother came into town 2 nights ago, and we are going back and forth, and somebody's with her all the time now. She's pretty non-responsive at this point. When I first got up there, she could squeeze my hand and she'd look at me when I talked to her, but even that's going downhill. And, I really understand. I heard the term Alzheimer's as the long goodbye. And I describe it that we've been losing pieces of my mom now over the last couple of years. First, it was short-term memory. And she would say, all old people have short-term memory. Yours is worse than others, Yeah. And then the long-term memory, She used to be able to talk about growing up in Germany as a little kid. And it was really difficult for her to kind of remember anything like that. She never forgot who we were, I mean, I'd walk in the room, her face lights up. She knows who I am.
She knows your energy.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then, she lost mobility. And then speech was about the last thing to go, so she could do like one-word answers. A couple weeks ago, even that started to go away, and we know the end is near. We understand how Alzheimer's works. We knew when we got the diagnosis. We had really good doctors who said, let us explain to you how this goes. We can't tell you the exact timeline because no two people are alike, but we know how this ends, and so we're kind of at that point now. So I'm leaving here to go up and sit with Mom for a while.
I mean, if you're alive and you're with other people, life comes to an end. People die. That's part of it.
Yeah.
And you've talked a lot. I mean, you're a very resilient individual.
Well, I don't know how to describe it. I think I'm pretty even keeled. I think I'm a bit of a realist. I understand these.
You should be. I mean, you deliver the news to the rest of us.
Well, but even when it comes to life and death, and I don't mean to jump around, but I race cars. I've lost friends who racing cars.
In a car race, you've lost?
Oh yeah. I know it's dangerous. I choose to do it. I understand every time I get in the race car, it could be the last time, and I accept that. And it is a risk that I'm willing to take. And I think that part of that kind of helps me when I see, my mom at 84 and say, she's had a pretty amazing life. Yeah. And she's got 2 sons that love her and have both done well in different fields. And, as a little girl, basically, as a teenager, came to the United States, emigrated, became a U.S. citizen, all that stuff, and just real, it's a humbling moment, and we're trying to do the best we can to honor her wishes and comfort and be a part of things.
Yeah. We have a gift for you.
Oh.
Oh, gee. Let's get that.
Oh, no.
This is a Life Tune Flex.
Okay, please explain.
And I wear one.
Oh, okay.
And this is so what it is this is an EMF diffracting device.
Do explain, sir.
Electromagnetic fields or electromagnetic frequencies, we're surrounded by them, most of which are potentially harmful to human tissue.
Oh, wow.
Like a 5G signal, like Wi-Fi. I mean, you can't get away from that.
It's everywhere,
Phone's
correct?
in your pocket. Our clinic, we're sitting in naturopathic specialists.
Yes.
We are a certified EMF safe zone by Aries, which is the company that makes that. This is on the table here is a Zone Max, which is about 113 feet of protection. That's a personal protection, and Aries has given us those to give away to our guests because we want to help protect you and say thank you for being here.
I sincerely appreciate it.
Where did you get your penchant for watches? We can't get out of here without talking about watches.
You and I talk watches a lot.
Yeah.
Our text chain is nothing but watch pictures of what we're wearing on our wrist.
I wouldn't change it.
I'm relatively new to the full watch nerd. I've always appreciated them, and I'll come back to my mom. My mom gave me my first big boy watch. Ooh. I got a Baume and Mercier, and I kept it in a locked box, and I only wore it like when I wore a suit. I was like, I got to pull this out, and and then I started looking at other things, and I use the term, my phone tells time, my watch tells a story.
I've heard you say that.
And I have watches that all tell stories, and so I like watches that say something about some part of my life, racing or places I've lived or things from my family. So I have some watches from Germany, and I have watches from where my mom grew up, and I have watches from Texas. My dad was from Dallas, Texas. And, I have watches that are specific to racing, more the chronographs and things like that mean something to me. My racing hero, Ayrton Senna, I have the watches that he wore, literally wore in the race car.
Like literally his?
Not his,
okay.
but the exact same watch he wore while racing, some Tag Heuers. And
was he wearing a Monaco?
He was not.
Formula One?
The SEL is what he wore. And the Link, the old school stainless gold Link bracelet. And there's pictures of him literally sitting in the car at Monaco.
Okay.
And you can see with his fire suit, and you can see the watch right there. And he puts his gloves on and went racing with it.
Classic.
Yeah, and he was like one of the original brand ambassadors. And he was my racing hero. My helmet is an homage to his, and a recognition of Ayrton and the inspiration he gave me when I go racing.
People who don't appreciate watches wouldn't understand why we would text about watches. Like, it's a watch. I mean, my wife has one watch and she's happy with it, but she understands that I love the craftsmanship, I love the feel, I love the story, and
uniqueness.
Yes, and I've learned a lot from you about how watches tell stories. And so, what are you wearing today?
Oh, okay. So this is a brand out of England called Christopher Ward.
It's beautiful.
It is very purple. And I did that on purpose because I do not have a purple watch.
That's perfectly purple.
Perfectly purple.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting watch. Besides the mechanics being literally on the front, it's not a skeletonized watch.
Yeah.
It's just right there in front of you.
Right. It just doesn't have a dial overlaying it.
It chimes at the top of the hour. And so it winds itself over the course of the hour. And when it hits the top of the hour, a little bing.
Which is rare in a watch like that.
To say the
least.
least.
Which does not take a battery.
Yeah.
And it's in a titanium case and strap.
Yeah. And this one, the Watch of the Year, they have like the, the Oscars for watches. And as I started collecting watches, I was like, I like interesting watches. I like different watches. This one was so unique. I felt like as a collector, I kind of had to have a watch like that. Like that makes sense to have.
You had to put it in the collection.
I visited the Christopher Ward boutique
in London.
I went. They have they have two in the United States. They have one in Washington D.C.
Oh, wow.
And I was just back there over the holidays, and I went to the boutique. And I walked around with like stars in my eyes.
Yeah.
Only one person at a time. You have to make an appointment.
Wait, really? In the whole store?
In the whole store.
Whoa.
You and the host, and walks you around, shows you watches.
Can you buy there?
Some, not all. Yeah. They're pretty much a direct you buy through their website. Okay. It's kind of the way they work, they operate.
That's pretty special.
But yeah, it's just such a unique watch. It's so different. And I know that most people will never notice it, but the fact that you notice it and like it means something to me.
Yeah, that's a great story. Okay, so I think people are going to be wondering, do you have a specific watch you wear to the Batcave?
Yes, I do. I didn't bring it with me. So I have a Batman watch.
Okay.
So I have a costume, if you will. I've got shoes. I've got custom shoes with the Batman logo on them.
Like Jordans or something?
They're Air Force Ones. Okay. Thank you. I had them custom painted.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Melody. And I have a huge Invicta. I think it must be 50. It is. It looks like I'm wearing a dinner plate.
Yep, I know the shape.
I walk with a limp. My shoulders sore by the end of the night
because it's big. It is heavy.
Humongous. It's that thick, and it's on a big rubber bracelet. But it's yellow with the Batman logo on it. And so I have little things that I wear during the show that like the kids are like, oh, that's Batman.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah, and my name tag says because we talk about Bruce Wayne a lot. Mine says Bruce, no relation. So just I'm not Bruce Wayne, not related, even though we're both Bruce.
Well, Bruce, thank you for sharing and opening up and telling us a little bit about your life and your resilience and what you do in the world of oncology. And my heart really goes out to you and what you do for the kids.
Thank you.
And everybody. Thanks for being here.
And I know that you touch so many lives as well, and that you're doing amazing work from us working together. And so it's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. For Rubin On Point, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you for joining us on Rubin On Point, a podcast about cancer, resilience, and most of all, about being human. I hope today's conversation inspired you to see new possibilities for growth, healing, and strength in your life. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a little extra resilience in their day. Remember, no matter what challenges you're facing, resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about building a life of purpose, connection, and vitality. Until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, and take care of yourself and those around you.